In the twilight of our lives, we often find ourselves standing at a crossroads. The path behind us is rich with memories, experiences, and the wisdom we've gathered along the way. But what lies ahead? Society might have us believe that our golden years are a time to slow down, to step aside for younger generations. Yet, as we delve into the timeless wisdom of Plato, we discover a profound truth. Aging is not a descent into irrelevance, but an ascent to new heights of understanding and joy. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, once said, "The beginning is the most important part of the work." Perhaps, then, we should view our 60s not as an ending, but as a powerful new beginning. A beginning that holds the promise of growth, of deeper connections, and of a life lived with intention and purpose. As we embark on this journey of exploring how to age gracefully and joyfully after 60, let's cast aside the limitations society may try to impose upon us. Instead, let's embrace the boundless potential that lies within each passing year, each wrinkle earned, and each gray hair that speaks to our lived experiences. Imagine for a moment that you're standing on a mountaintop. Behind you stretches the vast landscape of your life, the valleys of challenges overcome, the peaks of triumphs celebrated, and the winding paths of relationships forged and lessons learned. Now, turn your gaze forward. What do you see? Is it a barren plain, or is it a vista rich with possibility, beckoning you to explore its depths? The truth is, the view ahead is entirely up to you. Your perspective, shaped by decades of life, has the power to transform these years into the most fulfilling, joyous, and profound of your existence. But how do we cultivate this perspective? How do we harness the wisdom of ages past to light our way forward? Let's begin with the cornerstone of graceful aging, embracing the now. In our younger years, we often found ourselves caught in a relentless pursuit of the future, always chasing the next milestone, the next achievement. But now, we have the opportunity to fully inhabit the present moment, to savor it with a depth of appreciation that only comes with time. Consider the simple act of watching a sunset. In our youth, we might have glanced at it briefly, perhaps snapped a quick photo for social media, before hurrying on to the next task. But now, we can sit in quiet contemplation, observing the subtle shifts of color, feeling the gentle cooling of the air, and allowing ourselves to be fully present in the majesty of the moment. This mindfulness, this ability to be fully present, is a gift that comes with age. It's a skill we've honed through years of experience of learning to distinguish between the essential and the trivial. By embracing the now, we free ourselves from the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. We allow ourselves to experience life in its full richness, moment by exquisite moment. But embracing the present doesn't mean we stop growing or learning. On the contrary, one of the most powerful ways to age gracefully and joyfully is to cultivate a spirit of lifelong learning. Plato himself was a testament to this principle, continuing to teach and philosophize well into his later years. Think about it, we live in an age of unprecedented access to knowledge. The world is quite literally at our fingertips. Have you ever wanted to learn a new language? There are apps and online courses that can guide you through the process at your own pace. Always dreamed of playing an instrument? It's never too late to start. The joy of creating music, of expressing yourself through melody and rhythm, is a pleasure that knows no age limit. Perhaps you're interested in exploring new technologies, in staying connected with the rapidly evolving digital world. Embracing these learning opportunities not only keeps our minds sharp, but also bridges generational gaps, allowing us to connect more deeply with younger family members and friends. Learning at this stage of life is not about competing or proving ourselves. It's about the pure joy of discovery, of expanding our horizons simply for the sake of growth. It's about nurturing our curiosity and reminding ourselves that wonder is not the exclusive domain of the young. As we engage in this process of lifelong learning, we often find that our perspective on health and vitality shifts as well. In our younger years, we may have taken our health for granted, pushing our bodies to their limits without much thought for the consequences. Now, We have the wisdom to understand that caring for our bodies is an act of profound gratitude, a way of honoring the vessel that has carried us through life's joys and challenges. Prioritizing health and vitality after 60 isn't about chasing an elusive fountain of youth. It's about feeling vibrant, energetic, and capable of fully engaging with life. It's about developing a balanced routine that nourishes both body and soul. This might mean exploring gentler forms of exercise that are kinder to our joints while still challenging our muscles and cardiovascular system. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi not only improve physical flexibility and balance but also foster a sense of inner calm and mindfulness. Nutrition, too, takes on new importance. We have the opportunity to savor our food, to appreciate the complex flavors and textures of a well-prepared meal. We can choose foods that nourish and sustain us, that support our health goals, while still bringing us pleasure. This mindful approach to eating becomes a form of self-care, a way of showing love and respect for our bodies. And let's not forget the importance of rest. In a society that often glorifies business, embracing the need for adequate sleep and relaxation can feel revolutionary. Yet it's in these quiet moments of rest that our bodies repair themselves, that our minds process the day's experiences, and that we recharge for the adventures that await us. As we cultivate this holistic approach to health, growth, and vitality, we often find that our capacity for deep, meaningful connections expands as well. In our younger years, relationships might have been driven by necessity, colleagues we worked alongside, parents of our children's friends, neighbors we saw in passing. But now, we have the freedom to choose our connections more intentionally, to nurture relationships that truly feed our souls. This might mean deepening existing friendships, taking the time to have those long, meandering conversations that explore the depths of our shared experiences. It might mean reaching out to reconnect with old friends, bridging gaps of time and distance to rekindle connections that once brought us joy. But it's not just about maintaining existing relationships. This stage of life offers unique opportunities to form new connections as well. Consider joining a community group centered around a shared interest, perhaps a book club, a gardening society, or a volunteer organization. These groups not only provide opportunities for socializing, but also allow us to contribute our skills and wisdom to causes we care about. Volunteering, in particular, can be a powerful way to foster deep connections while also giving back to our communities. Whether it's mentoring young people, helping at a local food bank, or offering our professional skills to non-profit organizations, volunteering allows us to stay engaged, to feel valued, and to continue making a meaningful impact on the world around us. As we explore the richness of these connections, we often find that they offer us a mirror to our own growth and change. Each interaction becomes an opportunity for self-reflection, for learning, and for sharing the wisdom we've accumulated over the years. These relationships remind us that we are not static beings, but rather continually evolving. Even in our later years, consider the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher who found a new sense of purpose and connection through a local community garden. Initially drawn to the project as a way to stay active and grow her own vegetables, Margaret soon discovered that the garden was nurturing far more than plants. She formed deep friendships with fellow gardeners of all ages, sharing not just gardening tips but life experiences. The younger members sought her advice on everything from career decisions to relationship challenges, while she found herself reinvigorated by their energy and fresh perspectives. "I never expected to find such a vibrant community at this stage of my life," Margaret reflects. "But here I am, surrounded by people who value my experience and who inspire me to keep learning and growing. It's given me a whole new lease on life." Our Margaret's story illustrates the transformative power of fostering deep connections in our later years. It's a reminder that we are never too old to form meaningful relationships, to learn from others, and to contribute to our communities in significant ways. But what about those times when we feel isolated or disconnected? It's important to acknowledge that loneliness can be a real challenge as we age, especially if we've experienced loss or major life changes. The key is to be proactive in seeking out connections, even when it feels difficult. This might mean stepping out of our comfort zones, trying new activities, or reaching out to others who might also be feeling isolated. It could involve embracing technology to stay connected with loved ones who are far away, or seeking support through counseling or support groups if we're struggling with feelings of loneliness or depression. Remember, fostering deep connections is not just about quantity, but quality. Even a small circle of close friends or family members can provide the emotional support and sense of belonging that we all need to thrive. As we nurture these connections, we're not just enriching our own lives, we're creating a legacy of love, wisdom, and shared experiences that will ripple out far beyond our immediate circle. We're modeling for younger generations the importance of community, of intergenerational relationships, and of staying engaged and connected throughout all stages of life. Now, let's turn our attention to another crucial aspect of aging gracefully and joyfully giving ourselves permission to dream. Who says dreams are only for the young? Society often perpetuates the notion that as we age, we should settle into a quiet retirement, content with past accomplishments and resigned to a slower pace of life. But what if we challenged that narrative? What if we embraced the idea that our later years can be a time of renewed aspiration, of pursuing passions we may have set aside earlier in life, of dreaming big dreams and setting ambitious goals? Consider the story of Grandma Moses, the renowned American folk artist who began her painting career at the age of 78. After arthritis forced her to give up embroidery, she picked up a paintbrush and went on to create over 500 paintings, many of which became nationally recognized works of art. Her story is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to pursue our passions or to discover new talents. Or think about Diana Nyad, who, at the age of 64, became the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without a shark cage. It was a dream she had first attempted in her 20s, but finally achieved in her 60s, proving that perseverance and determination know no age limits. These stories challenge us to ask ourselves, what dreams have we put on hold? What passions have we neglected? What goals have we dismissed as too late to pursue? Now is the time to dust off those dreams, to give ourselves permission to aspire, to grow, to challenge ourselves in new ways. This might mean traveling to destinations we've always longed to see, learning a new skill or hobby, writing that book we've always talked about, or starting a business venture we've long considered. Perhaps you've always wanted to learn to play the piano, but never found the time. Why not start now? Or maybe you've dreamed of hiking the Appalachian Trail. While the full trail might be a daunting challenge, perhaps you could set a goal to hike sections of it over the next few years. The key is to approach these dreams with a spirit of joy and adventure, free from the pressure and expectations we might have placed on ourselves in our younger years. We're not pursuing these goals to prove anything to anyone else. We're doing it for the sheer pleasure of the pursuit, for the growth and fulfillment it brings to our lives. Creating a bucket list can be a helpful way to crystallize these dreams and aspirations. Sit down with a pen and paper or at your computer and allow yourself to brainstorm freely. What experiences do you want to have? What skills do you want to learn? What places do you want to see? Don't censor yourself or worry about practicalities at this stage. Just let your imagination roam freely. Once you have your list, you can start to prioritize and plan. Which goals excite you the most? Which ones align best with your current circumstances and abilities? Remember, it's not about achieving everything on your list. It's about the joy and purpose that come from pursuing these dreams. As you embark on these new adventures and pursuits, you may find that they bring unexpected benefits. Learning new skills keeps our mind sharp and can even help stave off cognitive decline. Pursuing physical challenges within the bounds of our abilities and health can improve our overall fitness and well-being. And achieving goals, no matter how small, boosts our confidence and sense of self-efficacy. Moreover, these pursuits often lead us to new connections and communities. Whether it's joining a writing group, taking an art class, or participating in a travel club, our dreams can lead us to like-minded individuals who share our passions and inspire us to keep growing. As we give ourselves permission to dream and pursue new goals, we're not just enriching our own lives, we're setting a powerful example for those around us. We're showing our children, grandchildren, and younger friends that life is a continual journey of growth and discovery. We're challenging societal stereotypes about aging and demonstrating that our later years can be some of the most vibrant and fulfilling of our lives. Now, as we near the end of our exploration of aging gracefully and joyfully, let's turn our attention to a final, profound aspect of this journey, reflecting on our legacy. When we hear the word legacy, we often think of material possessions, the wealth or property we might leave behind. But true legacy is so much more than that. It's about the values we've lived by, the lessons we've learned and shared, the love we've given, and the impact we've had on the lives of others. Reflecting on our legacy isn't about tallying up achievements or comparing ourselves to others. Rather, it's an opportunity for deep introspection, for considering the mark we want to leave on the world, and for aligning our actions in the present with the legacy we hope to create. Start by asking yourself some important questions. What values have been most important to you throughout your life? How have you lived out these values? What lessons have you learned that you want to pass on to future generations? What impact do you hope to have had on your family, your community, and the wider world? As you ponder these questions, you might find it helpful to write down your thoughts, perhaps in a journal or in letters to loved ones. This process of reflection and writing can be profoundly meaningful, helping you to clarify your thoughts and articulate the wisdom you've gained over the years. Consider the story of Robert, a 75-year-old retired businessman. As he reflected on his legacy, he realized that while he was proud of his professional achievements, what mattered most to him was the impact he'd had on individual lives. He thought about the employees he'd mentored over the years, the charity work he'd done in his community, and most importantly, the values he'd instilled in his children and grandchildren. Inspired by this reflection, Robert decided to take action to strengthen his legacy. He started writing down stories from his life, not just recounting events, but sharing the lessons he'd learned and the values that had guided him. He began having more intentional conversations with his grandchildren, sharing his experiences and listening to their perspectives. And he increased his involvement in a local mentoring program, passing on his business knowledge to young entrepreneurs. I realized that my legacy isn't just about what I leave behind when I'm gone, Robert says. It's about how I live each day, the choices I make, and the way I treat others. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce the values I believe in and to make a positive impact. Robert's story reminds us that creating a meaningful legacy is an active process, one that we engage in every day through our actions, our words, and our relationships. But what if we look back on our lives and feel regret? What if we wish we had made different choices or lived more aligned with our values? It's important to remember it's never too late to shift our course, to make amends where needed, to forgive ourselves and others, and to start living more intentionally. Perhaps part of your legacy will be demonstrating the power of change and growth, even in later years. Maybe you'll inspire others by picking up a long-neglected passion, by healing a fractured relationship, or by finding new ways to contribute to your community. As we reflect on our legacy, we might also consider how we want to be remembered. This isn't about ego or seeking recognition, but about distilling the essence of who we are and what we stand for. If you were to write your own epitaph, what would it say? What would you want people to say about you at your funeral? These may seem like heavy questions, but they can be incredibly clarifying, helping us to focus on what truly matters in our lives. Remember, too, that our legacy isn't just about grand gestures or major achievements. Often, it's the small, everyday acts of kindness, the consistent living out of our values, and the love we show to those around us that have the most lasting impact. As we wrap up our exploration of aging gracefully and joyfully, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've taken together. We've discussed the importance of embracing the present moment, of cultivating lifelong learning, of prioritizing our health and vitality. We've explored the power of fostering deep connections and giving ourselves permission to dream. And we've contemplated the profound act of reflecting on and shaping our legacy. Through it all, we've challenged the narrative that aging is a process of decline and loss. Instead, we've embraced the idea that our later years can be a time of growth, of joy, of deep fulfillment and purpose. Plato's wisdom, which inspired our journey, reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is a lifelong endeavor. Just as Plato continued to teach and write well into his later years, we too have the opportunity to continue learning, growing, and contributing to the world around us. As we navigate this profound season of life, let's carry with us the understanding that each day is a gift filled with possibilities. Let's approach each sunrise with curiosity and gratitude, each interaction with openness and compassion, each challenge as an opportunity for growth. Remember, aging gracefully and joyfully is not about denying the realities of growing older. It's about embracing this stage of life with all its complexities, finding beauty in the changes, wisdom in the challenges, and joy in the unique opportunities it presents. So, as you move forward from this moment, I invite you to ask yourself, what will I do today to age more gracefully and joyfully? How can I embrace the present moment more fully? What new thing will I learn? How will I care for my health and vitality? What connections will I nurture? What dreams will I pursue? And how will I contribute to the legacy I want to leave behind? The answers to these questions lie within you. Trust in the wisdom you've accumulated over the years, but remain open to new insights and experiences. Embrace the journey ahead with courage, with grace, and above all, with joy. For in the end, aging is not just about adding years to our life, but adding life to our years. It's about continuing to grow, to love, to contribute, and to find meaning in each day we're given. This is the essence of aging gracefully and joyfully, and it's a journey that's available to each of us, starting right now. As we conclude, remember that this is not an ending, but a beginning of a new chapter rich with possibility and potential. Embrace it fully, live it authentically, and cherish every moment of the incredible journey ahead. For in doing so, you not only enrich your own life, but inspire and uplift all those whose lives you touch. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Plato's wisdom and the art of aging gracefully and joyfully. May your journey forward be filled with growth, purpose, and abundant joy.